Dus hello Tineke, I'm going to interview you today about your working and living abroad. You are a Belgian working abroad. In which company do you work?
I work for DuPont.
Okay.
Well, actually, I work for DuPont now, but I have been also moving for BASF. So I've worked for both companies and moved for both companies.
Okay. And what do you do there?
So right now, I am the regional, so we call it EMEA, product stewardship and regulatory manager for the company.
What are the countries that you lived in for your work?
Yeah, so how do I do this? Do I do this in chronological order and start at the beginning or the end? So we have lived
It's up to you.
We have lived in a couple of countries, all Western culture countries though. And perhaps let me try to do the we started, both of us started working and living obviously in Belgium, but then we did move to Germany, moved back to Belgium, moved to the US, moved back to Belgium, moved back, no, then we did go to Germany, and then we did live in 2 different locations in Germany. I think I lost already a bit count here of the different moves.
I can believe that.
We lived in Germany, lived in Switzerland, went back to the US, and then moved to Switzerland, where I still live, and right now we're looking at moving possibly to the Netherlands, where my husband already is living.
The next step is coming. Is it hard to adapt to other countries and living there?
Hard is perhaps not the right word, but it's always, so you always have to adapt, indeed. Now, like I said, it was Belgium, Switzerland, Netherlands, Germany, and US. So all of them have differences, but it's all Western culture, right? So of course, you need to adapt and you need to find your new way again, but it's relatively easy. But wherever you move, you always have to find, again, where you will do your shopping, where you have to go to the hairdressers, whether there's bakeries or not, is also something that is not normal living abroad. So that's one thing that you do miss about Belgium, bakeries, for instance. Yeah, so it's also a bit, my belief is also a bit, it's a choice. Typically, it's a choice you made, at least consciously, to move, and then you have to adapt. So yeah, it's always a bit of a period that you have to find your way again, and it takes a little bit, but then it works out because you have to, and you do. So
it's still Belgium here. Okay.
Yeah.
About your experiences working abroad, how was that at first to be in a new environment, a new company maybe?
Yeah, and actually, like I said, when I talked to the kids right before this, because we have been living, I have been living and working abroad in quite a lot of different places already. I'm not sure if I really can reflect to it. It's each time when you move, so you have the move in addition, so it's a new environment, you have to find everything new. And in addition, the job and the colleagues and the setting is new, so you have to adapt. So that's clear. So you come in most of the cases, not always, but most of the cases, you do come in an existing setup in an existing organization, and there you have to adapt to that new organization with their own culture, with their own preferences, with the people. So obviously, whether it's the moving abroad that brings the most difference, or really then a new setting that brings the new difference. So whether you change jobs or move for a company at work, I'm not sure what the biggest change really is. But for me, it's like I said, for me, it's more the changing an environment that you need to adapt to than the being expat as such. Now, other than that, I mean, so I know, so then when we moved with Babette when she was 3 months old to the US, so that was also a bit of, that was also perhaps there.
But did you easily meet people then to help you, or?
Of course you can, but indeed that solid base that you can fall back on is something that you need, that takes a while. So if you're only there in the beginning, it always takes a bit of trying to find an environment or some base group that you can that you can trust your children to, or whatever you want or need at life. So, and we have moved. For that, perhaps we have moved a little bit too often. So it's hard to keep the contacts.
I can imagine. Okay. Okay, then we're almost at the end of our interview. Is there any advice that you could give to students who want to be an expat in their future?
Well, I think you always have to make the choice that you think is best for you. If you want to do that experience, if you, then make that decision, but do it for the right reason. So do it for yourself. Don't do it for anything else. So I think I certainly think it is a great experience, but you have to be willing to adapt and then to make a choice and then to make that happen. And there's always advantages or disadvantages whatever choice you make. So it wouldn't be against or for it, but you have to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then, of course, if there's always people that are then, so each time when we moved, there were people that perhaps had an opinion why we should not do it, but then also when we would not have taken that opportunity, that would also have been opinions there. So you have to do it for yourself, and that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you for everything.
If you have any more questions, don't hesitate.